This is the first video in a series of 4 in which I will introduce you to online legal research using secondary sources, case law, legislation and extrinsic material. In this video, I will show you how to get started with legal research using secondary sources. In legal research, secondary sources include books, journal articles, commentary, encyclopedias and dictionaries. As you do more of your own legal research, you will learn that there is not one correct way to search. In fact, there are almost always multiple ways to approach the same task. I will show you some tips to search the legal databases efficiently and effectively so that you will find the most relevant, reliable and comprehensive information. I'll start with showing you how to find books in the SCU Library catalogue. This is the Library tab within My SCU. The search box in the middle of the page here is the SCU Library catalogue. You can use this search to search for the books, both hard copy and ebooks, that the library owns. You can also use it to search for journal articles and other types of information. However, I don't recommend using this search for legal material for 2 reasons. The first reason is you will find an overwhelming amount of information. And the second reason is this search does not reliably find information from the legal databases. And that includes not being able to find case law and legislation using this search. I'll use an example today about contract law and particularly express terms. So keep in mind, like any library catalogue, you're not searching full text books, but you are searching information about the books. So that includes the book titles, the table of contents for the book, and perhaps a summary or a blurb. This means you might need to simplify your searching. You're unlikely to find a whole textbook about express terms, so instead try searching more broadly for books about contract law. So here I have searched for contract law and Australia. You'll notice that I have used a couple of different advanced search techniques. I have placed double quotation marks around the words contract law. That tells the search that I want to search those 2 terms as an exact phrase. Then I've used the word and in capital letters between my 2 terms. This tells the search to make sure both of my 2 concepts are included in the results. On the results page for the library catalogue, we can now use the filters or the limits on the left-hand side to focus these results further. The first limit I will apply is under the resource type heading. I'll click books. I could limit that even further by clicking available online. That will show me only ebooks. I could also apply a date range if I only want to look for more recent books. I can also sort my results instead of by relevance, perhaps by date newest to see more recent books. Let's have a look at an ebook. I'll click this one here, Principles of Contract Law, and here is the catalogue record for this book. To view the ebook, I need to click the link to the database under the View Online heading. Before I do, just note this label here that says 3 consecutive users. That means that only 3 people can open and read this book online at the same time, and that is a common restriction that publishers place on ebooks for libraries. Here is the ebook in the ProQuest database. You'll notice that I cannot download the ebook and read it offline, and again that is due to the restrictions from the publisher. And I'm also limited in the number of pages that I can copy or download as a PDF. That's relating to the copyright and licensing restrictions from the publisher. So the best option I have is to click Read Online. I can simply scroll through the book to read it online, or I can navigate through the table of contents on the left-hand side. And because this is an ebook, I could even type some keywords in to search for more focused information within the book. So let's try searching for express terms. I can then scroll through to see where those terms appeared, and here I can see that chapter 12 is about identifying the express terms. So I can click on that to go straight to chapter 12 and read that online. Even if you are an online student, you can still access the hard copy books in the SCU Library collection. Click Sign In when you're viewing the book record. You will then see 2 options. One is Request Item, Click that if you would like to pick up the book from the library or have it posted to your home address. You can also click Request Scan if you would like the library to scan part of the content for you to read. You're able to request either one chapter or 10% of the total pages of the book. Let's move on to finding secondary sources in the legal databases. The best place to access and learn how to use the legal databases is from the Legal Research Skills Guide. So from the library page in My SCU, look for the Library Subject Guides heading, expand Law, and open the Legal Research Skills Guide. You should bookmark this guide if you haven't already, as you will be using it a lot during your studies. It provides you with links to all of the key legal databases, instructions for conducting different types of legal research tasks in each database, as well as tutorials. The homepage of the guide provides links to the key databases, both subscription and freely available. And at the bottom of the page is a handy database search operators table. One thing you will learn as you start searching the legal databases is that they all use a particular search language, and you need to make sure that you are using the right language in each database to get the most out of the results. We'll begin by looking at the Starting Your Research page of the guide. At the bottom of this page, you will find a tutorial on getting started with the legal research process. This will also show you a little bit more about how the search operators work. We'll start by looking at an online legal dictionary. Legal dictionaries provide definitions of key terms with reference to the key primary, legislation and case law. I'll start with the Encyclopedic Australian Legal Dictionary. This dictionary is published by LexisNexis and is available from the Lexis Plus database. I can browse using the table of contents to the defined terms, or I can run a search by typing keywords into the box at the top of the page. I'll try searching for express terms. There are a number of results, and if I scroll through, here is a definition for incorporation by signature, which looks particularly relevant. Click the term, and then you can read a brief definition of this concept. As you can see, there is reference here to two key cases that explain the concept of incorporation by signature. The cases are hyperlinked, which means I can read the full text of these cases in the Lexis database by clicking on the links. We will look at case law in more detail in the next video. Another way to get started in legal research is to look at a legal encyclopedia. There are two legal encyclopedias in Australia. We have Halsbury's Laws of Australia, which is published by LexisNexis and is available in the Lexis Advanced database. And we have The Laws of Australia, which is published by Thomson Reuters and is available in the Westlaw AU database. Both of the encyclopedias provide brief statements of the law with reference to the key primary sources. So from the Legal Research Skills Guide, I am again on the Starting Your Research page, and I've scrolled down to the Legal Encyclopedias box. Let's have a look at the Laws of Australia in Westlaw AU. There are a couple of clicks to get through to this one. So on the home page of the encyclopedia, I can search the full text of the entire encyclopedia by typing keywords into the search box at the top of the page. Or for a more focused search, there's a small link here that says Search TOC. TOC means Table of Contents. So if I search here, my terms will only be found in the headings within the encyclopedia. Let me try searching for express terms in the table of contents. So my results are highlighted in green. And down here we have a whole section under the terms part that is just about express terms. So I can use the plus symbols to keep expanding this chapter until I see the list of paragraphs underneath that concept. Click a paragraph to read further. Again, we have a brief statement of the law. And in the footnotes underneath, there is reference to some key cases to do with this area of law. There are references to other parts of the encyclopedia that will be useful to read. And if there were relevant legislation, it would also be referred to here. At the top of the page, there is a last review date. This one was last reviewed in December 2020. It's really important when dealing with legal information to check how current the information is before you rely on it. To continue reading about express terms in this section of the encyclopedia, I can use the table of contents on the left-hand side here, or I can use the forward and back buttons at the top left to simply navigate to each section. The final secondary source I'll highlight in this video is online legal commentary. Legal commentary provides up-to-date comment on the law with references to legislation and case law. You'll find the commentary under the Secondary Sources heading on the left-hand side of the Legal Research Skills Guide, then click Commentary. This time we will look at CCH I Know Connect. CCH provides commentary in a number of specific subject areas, including contract and consumer law. In CCH, you can search across all content by typing keywords into the search box at the top of the page, or open the navigation panel on the left-hand side to browse the practice areas. There is a heading for contract law, which is relevant for my topic, so I'll expand this one. Each practice area has headings for commentary, legislation and cases, and some practice areas also include practical tools and regulatory resources. I'll click commentary to start my research. I can keep clicking through to explore the table of contents of the contract commentary, or I can type some keywords into this search box here just under the Browse Commentary heading to search only within the contract law commentary. And again, I'll try searching for express terms. From the results list, click a paragraph to read it. For example, I will open this paragraph providing an introduction to express terms in contracts. As with the legal dictionary and encyclopedia, if there is relevant case law and legislation for a piece of commentary, these will be mentioned in the commentary, usually with hyperlinks. There is additional legal commentary in Westlaw AU and in Lexis, and I encourage you to explore these resources in your own time. Finally, you can also use journal articles for background information on legal issues. Under secondary sources in the guide, there is a heading for journal articles. This page lists the key databases for finding journal articles, and at the bottom of the page you will find instructions and screenshots to show you how to search. I will also demonstrate some tips for finding specific types of journal articles in video 4 of this series.